Stories of fairies in the 17th century may have been lost had it not been for the fairy minister. The Reverend Robert Kirk was born on 9th December 1644 at Aberfoyle, roughly 20 miles west of the city of Stirling. He was the seventh son of the local minister, James Kirk, although his mother's name has been lost over the centuries. In those days, Kirk's birth automatically meant he was thought to have the second sight of Highland folklore. Fluent in Gaelic and English, he followed in his father's footsteps and studied theology at the University of St Andrews, followed by the University of Edinburgh, where he gained his master's degree in 1661. Kirk was assigned to the church at Balquhidder 3 years later. Then, in 1685, he was transferred to Kirkton near Aberfoyle to preach. It's known he translated the Bible into Irish and was also a well-known Gaelic scholar, publishing the Psalter in Gaelic in 1684. It's said he got wind that the Synod of Argyll were also in the process of bringing out something similar, so he worked on it day and night. In order to keep himself awake, Kirk placed a piece of lead in his mouth over a basin of water, so if he fell asleep, the lead would fall into the water and waken him, so he would be the first to be published. In 1689, he travelled to London to get the Bible published in Gaelic, with the project financed by scientist Robert Boyle. It was published the following year. Whilst there, he had dinner with Edward Stillingfleet, later Bishop of Worcester, who was a sceptic, and grilled Kirk on fairy abduction. Kirk told him it had been reported by many people who knew a woman who had died in her bed and was buried, only to reappear 2 years later to her husband. They later went on to have children. As the evening drew to a close, Stillingfleet handed the minister 10 guineas towards publishing costs. Kirk married twice. His first wife was Isabel, the daughter of Sir Colin Campbell of Mochester, and they had a son, Colin, but she died on Christmas Day 1680. Colin was well educated and went on to become writer to the Signet. Kirk then married Margaret Campbell, daughter of Campbell of Fordy, and another son was born, Robert, who went on to become a minister in Dornoch. Between 1667 and 1688, Kirk was appointed clerk to the session of Dunblane. Well liked and held in high regard, he was noted for keeping the records legible, writing them clearly. However, Kirk's fame came with his interest in folklore, and he is most famous for his book The Secret Commonwealth of Elves, Fauns and Fairies, which he completed in 1691. He is also credited with being the first to write in English or Scots the words fairy tale. As previously mentioned, he believed he had the second sight and claimed fairies could be seen at funerals and banquets eating. He also said they moved their lodgings at the beginning of each quarter of the year. Their houses were described as large and fair, unperceivable to vulgar eyes, that is, those who didn't have the second sight. He claimed women who'd just given birth were often taken by the fairies to nurse fairy children, but had returned to tell the tale, although not all did. He went on, "Their apparel is like that of the people and country under which they live, so they are seen to wear plaids in the Highlands of Scotland." They didn't speak much, however. They also had a hierarchy, much like humans, with aristocratical rulers and laws, but no discernible religion, love, or devotion towards God, and they disappeared whenever they heard the name of God mentioned, or that of Jesus. The fairies protected themselves with weapons, but not made of iron. These were made of stone, and when thrown they could mortally wound, which Kirk claimed he saw at first hand. As for fairy mounds, Kirk believed these were where the fairies' human ancestors' souls were accommodated. When he died following his daily walk to Doon Hill, which overlooks Aberfoyle, on 14th May 1692, he was buried at the east end of the local kirkyard, but his body is said not to be there. Carved on the tombstone in Latin are the words, "Here lies the promulgator of the gospel and luminary of the Hibernian tongue. Robert Kirk, pastor of Aberfoyle, died 14th May 1692, aged 48. There is also a thistle, crossed sword, and shepherd's crook. The minister immersed himself in the local Gaelic folklore, and he even claimed to have the second sight, giving him unprecedented access to the fairy folk. It wasn't unusual in the 17th century to be a Christian and to believe in the fairy folk, as it would bring into doubt the existence of God, a supernatural entity. In order to find out more about them, he used to walk up Doon Hill where the fairies were said to live. In his book, The Secret Commonwealth, he wrote about them and his many encounters with them on the hill. He claimed they lived unseen amongst humans, and said they, the humans, had a fairy double. Within a year of finishing his manuscript, Kirk died, and his body was found on the hill, but was it really him, or was it his fairy double? Locals believed the latter. They thought because he'd written about their lives, he'd been imprisoned by them, as the fairies must have felt he'd betrayed them by writing the book. They also believed Kirk's soul was trapped forever beneath the roots of a large pine tree at the top of the hill, the only pine in an oak wood. The Reverend Dr. Graham, who succeeded Kirk at Aberfoyle, believed Kirk had sunk down in a swoon, which was taken for death. Later, Sir Walter Scott, who had The Secret Commonwealth published in 1815 under The Secret Commonwealth, or an essay on the nature and actions of the subterranean, and for the most part, invisible people, heretofore, going under the names of fauns and fairies or the like, among the Low Country Scots, as described by those who have the second sight, 1691, wrote, after the ceremony at a seeming funeral, the form of the Reverend Robert Kirk appeared to a relation. Apparently, he told him to go to Graham of Dochry, his cousin, and to tell him he wasn't dead but a captive in fairyland. He went on that he only had one chance of liberation. At the time, his wife was pregnant, and he went on that once the baby was born, at his baptism, he would appear in the room when, if Dochry were to throw a knife or dirk over his head, that he may be restored to society. But if this is neglected, I am lost forever. It was reported Kirk did indeed appear at the christening, but so shocked was Dochry he completely forgot to throw the knife, and Kirk hasn't been seen since, although in 1982 R.J. Stewart claimed a short, fairly plump man appeared next to him and declared himself to be Robert Kirk, fully alive in the fairy realm. He apparently invited Stewart to join him, and he was about to do so when a car horn broke the spell. Today, the single pine tree in a wood of oak is covered in pieces of cloth, and written messages by those who believe this is on fairy territory and as a homage to Kirk. Whether the locals still believe in fairies or not, we will leave as an open question. But do you believe in fairies? If you enjoyed this episode of Scotland's History, please like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching.